Greetings, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Free Cake. And I'm Howard.
I'm Kwande.
And this week, we're going to talk about fandom and kind of how it can be toxic. And the thing that spurs on this conversation is the fact that Kelly Marie Tran, who played Rose Tico in The Last Jedi, recently quit social media because so many Star Wars fans were giving her shit just because they didn't like the movie.
And you know what's crazy is, like, even though she was one of the supporting roles, like, I mean, she may have been like one of the lead roles, because you kind of follow her with Finn throughout the movie.
Yeah, she was the lead role. Yeah,
but sure. It's crazy how someone in that type of position in a film can get so much crap like that, and not even just like, you suck as an actress. Like, it was like hateful.
Yeah. Well, it's like crazy. Like, it's either like her performance like they didn't like, or that just because she's Asian or just because she's a woman, and people just throw so much shade at her, or like actual like vitriolic hate, like actual hate because they didn't like the movie. Like,
well, I mean, I'm one to say, like, I didn't like it, but I'm not gonna sit there and complain about why I didn't like it. Like, you made your statement. Why do you got to keep going on about it? Like, if you didn't like it, cool. You don't have to talk about it.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I get that you didn't like the movie. I didn't like the movie either, right? Mm-hmm. But I'm like not going on. I'm like, I'm gonna find her on every social media outlet, and I'm just gonna talk shit to her, like, because I don't care that much.
Right.
Like, what is it? What does it matter, right? Because she's a real person,
right?
And two, she didn't invent Star Wars.
Yeah.
She didn't write the movie and be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna write this to piss off every fanboy there is.
Well, and like, I think a lot of people were upset with how the movie played out. I mean, even Mark Hamill was upset at the script when he just kind of just disappeared, turned into some type of
Force.
Yeah, he is now is one with the Force,
Yeah.
But I will say this part though, like the part when he's sitting there pretending to fight Kylo Ren, that was sick because he wasn't even there in the first place. I'm like, dang, you must be strong.
Yeah, no, like Last Jedi has some really awesome moments, especially like the throne room fight where, like, spoilers, after they kill Snoke and Kylo Ren and Rey were like fighting all the guards and stuff.
That part was cool.
Like that was sick, but like there's so many other problems that are wrong with the movie, and like I get that, like, there's some people who love it and there's other people who don't like it.
Just like anything.
Yeah, and like if you don't like it, just move on. Like, this one wasn't for you, so like why tear down this one person in particular?
Right. Yeah, there's no reason to just sit there. I mean, if you're gonna bash the movie, bash the whole entire production crew, bash the cast, the title screen, even whoever designed that title screen is garbage, Don't just single out one person. I think that's messed up the way that they did Kelly Marie Tran, is because they push her to the point where she doesn't even want to have any of her old posts on there anymore. Like, they're just sitting there posting tons of ridiculous stuff on there. Like, it was like, it's like cringeworthy. Like, just reading some of the stuff, and just, I couldn't imagine like sitting there. I mean, I can imagine, but it's never been like directed at me in such a derogatory, like, hateful way, racism and stuff like that, but a lot of the stuff they were saying was just completely ridiculous. Like, I have a few of them here, and just brace yourself because this is really messed up. So, it says it's one account it's like a fan made account, and they changed it to, I think it's Wikipedia.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
So they straight just like messed it up. I don't know if they went on Wikipedia or if they like just posted this on their Twitter.
Yeah.
But they basically said Ching Chong Wing Tong is a dumbass fucking character Disney made, and it's stupid. Wait, okay, let me go back. The first part, and then they say, and is stupid. Retarded and autistic love interest for Finn. She better die in the coma because she's a dumbass bitch. And I think that is one of the most ridiculous things you could ever say about anybody. I mean, you're not only disrespecting her race, but you're disrespecting, autistic people and people who are mentally retarded and, people who have low function mental skills, or motor skills, But for you to go out of your way, throw Disney's name into it, throw Star Wars into it, You know, like you're representing yourself as a horrible individual. I feel like that is the lowest you could stoop to. The fact that you feel like you have to go online, because I guarantee you, if you saw her to her face, you wouldn't say that.
No, and that's the thing, right? So online you have anonymity, and you don't have to own the actions that you make, right?
Right.
Like you can just say whatever you want, and regardless of how hateful or like hurtful that is, there's no consequence really, and it emboldens people, and it's just really sad because she was so excited,
right,
to be in that be in the role, and I would be too.
Well, yeah, who wouldn't be? You know, and on top of that, you got she's a real big female lead.
Yeah.
You know, she's the first woman of color in Star Wars to play a lead.
Yeah.
You know, and the whole significance of being Asian American, or she's Vietnamese American to be more specific.
Yeah.
And being able to be on the big screen and like have other people see you, like it's almost like watching Black Panther, man. Like seeing a movie with all black people, that was such a huge hit. And like, I don't know if it's still in theaters now, but I know when it came out, that movie was still in theaters.
Yeah.
Like, you could watch it at home, on your phone, or in theaters. You have that option.
You really could. You could be like, I'm going to wake up, I'm going to go to the movies, watch Black Panther, I'm going to come home and watch it on Blu-ray. Yep. Then I'm going to get on a train, I'm going to watch it on my phone.
Yeah,
like,
for real. Three times in a row.
It was everywhere for a little while, but yeah, it's very similar. Like, how important Black Panther was to me in particular, and to see have other people represented in a way in Star Wars, the way like she represented a whole group of people, not just like Asian Americans, but also young women who want to be in a lead role. You know?
Right. Yeah, man. I don't know. I don't wonder where it comes from. I mean, because it comes from like generations of people just being nasty to each other and just being hateful and having insecurity issues within themselves and everything. And I feel like that's something you have to deal with on your own. You got to be able to look in the mirror and be like, hey, I love this person that I see looking back at me, whatever. Yeah. Don't go on Mulan tangent, break out in the song or anything, but accept yourself for who you are and enjoy the fact that you are who you are, because nobody else could be you, But that doesn't mean because someone's different than you, or because someone does or says something that's different than you, that you have to sit there and talk crap on them. Yeah. Like, there's tons of people who are racist and hateful, or they just have different views than me. I'm not going to sit there and bash them. Yeah. If they want to have a conversation with me, or a battle of wits, or a roast, we can do it, but I'm going to do it to their face. I'm not going to sit there and just pretend to do it. You know? Online, I think that's just it's real fake, Yeah. Like you were saying, there's anonymity in it, and it's almost like it's not real. You know?
And one or two, like, with Star Wars in particular, because I feel maybe like everybody has like their own crazy like fandom or fanatics, right? But like I feel like there's a special breed around Star Wars kind of, where like whether it be like Return of the Jedi, or if it's the prequels, or now with like The Last Jedi, there's like this really vocal minority of people who are like just have some sort of sense of entitlement, I guess, where like they feel like they're owed something by the people who make the movie. And it was like, Disney doesn't own you shit. Right. Like, you don't, like Rian Johnson and whoever, Mark, or one of the Kazans who wrote the movie, like, they don't owe you a goddamn thing. Right, like, you're not like, are you a Disney shareholder? For real. Like, you're not.
Well, it's like someone coming in and trying to tell you how to do your job. Right? Yeah. Like, I'm not going to go to McDonald's. McDonald's is alright. It's not my favorite. For the sake of example. Yeah. I'm not going to go into McDonald's and tell them how to make their fries tastier, or make their burgers better, or maybe you should do this to the shake. It'll be way better. Yeah. Like, and what's really funny is people do that with anything. You know, food, coffee.
That's true.
Music even. Yeah. And it's like, some people don't even know what goes into making any of that. Yeah. So like, let's say they wanted to go this direction. Okay, that's their choice, because it's their art. They're the ones creating it. You're just a spectator on the outside. Yeah. All you have is an opinion. You don't have any experience, none of that. You don't know what it's like. Yeah. So like you said, who are you to say anything? Because they're not going to fix it just for you. So one person or a small group of people can be happy.
Yeah, and it's like, there's nothing wrong with offering like constructive criticism, right? Like if you watch something, I mean that's what people get paid a living to do, like movie critics or game critics or whatever. But and you can offer your criticisms in a respectful way that's constructive, and that the filmmakers or whoever, whatever medium it is, can look at that and be like, oh, I see what they're saying. That's something we can learn from the next project.
Right.
Not just like hateful racism, bigotry, sexism stuff.
Yeah. I mean, like, think about it. We're the customers in this situation. Like most companies that come out with a product, it's successful for so many years, and then somebody finds out, oh, hey, there's this ingredient in it. Yeah. I don't know if I want to buy that anymore because this isn't good for us.
Yeah.
Enough people come forward and say that in a respectful way, they'll change it. You know, or they'll add something to it to make it better. But if you're going to come out here and be like, oh, those guys suck, I hate them. I don't have a reason why, I just hate them. Like, they make my blood boil, they look ugly, their family's probably ugly, their mom stinks. Like, you know, nobody's going to listen to you.
Yeah.
You're not being mature about it. You're not voicing your opinion in a proper way. I'm not saying that there's, a specific way that everybody should voice their opinion. I just feel like there's a mature way to go about it and bring up a conversation instead of just pointing fingers and spewing out whatever comes into your mind.
Yeah. And I try to think about it in like respects of like what kind of property do I have a sentimental attachment to that could make me feel that way. And I think the only thing that comes close is Batman, right? And like we've already been through like highs and lows with Batman. Like we had Nipple Batman, and Batman and Robin, and the one before that, Batman Forever
with Val Kilmer.
Yeah, and like those movies are really, really bad, and I hate those interpretations of it. So yeah, like you have good interpretations of Batman, right? Like we had the Tim Burton Batman, and we had Nolan Batman, and then depending on how you feel, we have Ben Affleck and Zack Snyder version, which I mean, me personally, I didn't like that interpretation of Batman,
right?
Just because he was just straight up murdering people.
Yeah. Well, and he wasn't even presented with like a choice, like And normally, like he has the option to figure out something else, or just a way to detain them, or restrain them, or incapacitate them until they're able to get transported to Arkham or wherever they need to go. But and then there's instances where it's accidental too, like in the comic books, or it's just a mishap.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like in that version of Batman, like you're saying, like he usually like finds the best way, right? The way that like inflicts the least amount of casualties or like even like pain. Like if he can avoid people, he will. But like in this version of him, he just didn't like do that.
Right.
Like he was just like, I'm just gonna kill these people. I'm gonna like pancake them with cars, and like do all kinds of crazy shit because I just don't care, I guess.
And break their neck by throwing them face first to the ground.
Yeah, like that guy was dead.
Yeah.
He was not getting up after that, and I just wish like that was handled better. But like at no point was I gonna tweet at Zack Snyder or like Chris Terrio or Ben Affleck or anybody involved with the movie and be like, you guys suck and you ruined my childhood and you ruined Batman for the rest of my life, because like that's not the case, because there's so many other interpretations of the character that I do enjoy. I still have the animated series, I still have Nolan, and I still have all these other things, right? And the same with Star Wars. Like, you may not like The Last Jedi, but maybe you like The Force Awakens, and you still have that. You still have the originals.
Yeah, like if you really want to watch that original, or like you feel the need to have like that nostalgia in your life, then go and watch the old ones.
Yeah, exactly.
Like you have that option. But what kind of like makes me like it's just a question that I have for anyone, in general. And if you guys have an answer for it or like your own opinion about it, like just comment it or let us know or whatever. But the question is, how can Star Wars be such a diverse universe? You have like you have different planets, different areas on those planets, different people, different animals, different beings with sentience, different races, different colors. robots even. Everybody understands each other's languages unless you're like Finn and you were born inside the Republic.
Yeah.
And you have no idea, but English is the only language you speak. You know, like you have all this diverse culture within the entire universe, you know, and not one person on the show like shows any type of superiority over another in that regard, you know, in like racial regard or I mean maybe social class regard they do, but not like racism or hatred in that aspect how we do here in real life on Earth, you know. And so my question is, how can you be such a fan of such a diverse universe like that and still be so ignorant and practice bigotry daily like that? You know, the fact that you feel the need to do that, how's that even a thing?
Yeah, and it's like, it goes back to even with George Lucas, who started this, right? He created the whole series and wouldn't exist without him. But so many people hate him because of choices that he made later on in the series, whether it be the prequels or choices he made with Jar Jar Binks or the special editions of the original trilogy where it's got like CG and stuff in it. And it's like, you don't have any sense of ownership to this. Like, how do you hate George Lucas when he's the man who created it? Like, he's the guy who we wouldn't have this thing that you love so much without him. Right. And yeah, like, I don't agree with some of the choices that he made, but it's well and within his right to do whatever the hell he wants. Like, it's his thing. And, you know, now it's Disney's thing, and they can do whatever the hell they want with it. Like, you have, at no point in that process that they say, oh, Twitter user X, Y, and Z also has some sort of say in what this is. Like,
yeah, there's no binding contract. There's like, no discussion that you guys had across the table, you know, like like you said, they don't owe the audience anything but a movie they feel is good enough to release based off of what George Lucas had originated the story from.
Exactly. And like, going back to Batman, obviously I want a good movie out of Batman, and like, I want good Star Wars movies too, because I love Star Wars, but it's like, at no point do I feel a sense of ownership of it. Like, eventually I feel like someone will get around to telling a story within that universe that I enjoy. Like, not everything is gonna be for me. And like, back in Batman Brave and the Bold, they had like a really good episode about this exact thing, where like, they were in like this like fourth wall kind of like dimension where like they're in this Batman convention, and all these like fanboys were there talking about how they didn't like Batman because it was too campy and yada yada. And like, Batman gives this really compelling speech about like, Batman is everything to everyone. It's been around for decades. And so everybody has an interpretation of Batman that they love. So maybe you love Adam West Batman, you love campiness, or maybe you really like dark, violent Batman. But like, you know, this is the interpretation we chose to go with, was the campy version. And like, that's the same thing with like other things like Star Wars. Like, there's so many variations and stories of Star Wars that like, you can find a version that you like. And, you know, not every version is going to be for you. I happen to like campy Batman and violent Batman. But, like, you know, not everybody does. And you can just like the thing that you like, and that be the end of it.
Right. That's the freedom of choice right there, you know? And, like you said, you have the option, like, you could watch it once, not like it, don't ever watch it again. Yeah. You don't need to watch it once, be like, okay, I'm going to tell you everything that's wrong with this movie, everything that's wrong with my life, everything that I wish was wrong with your life. Instead, so we could trade places, and I'd be the one making millions. Yeah. You know, like...
And that's the same thing, like... And the other thing I don't understand, I guess, is that so many people, like older people, older than us, because we weren't alive when the originals came out, but like... They're like, oh, they ruined my childhood. I was like, what do you mean they ruined your childhood? Yeah. Did they go back in time and kill your mother and like rape your dad and be like, oh, they ruined my childhood?
Create a paradox for you. Now you have to live in that for the rest of your life?
Yeah, exactly. All they did was make a new movie in addition to the movies you already loved. Yeah. It didn't go back in time, you know? It's not a time-traveling movie. This isn't Terminator. Like, those movies that you love so much as a kid and all those great memories that you have from a kid, they still exist.
Yeah.
Like,
and it's still a part of your childhood.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why it's called a childhood. It's not adulthood.
Yeah.
You might want to say they ruined my adulthood.
Yeah.
You know, but I think that's so funny, man. And I think about stuff like that literally all the time. Like, not the way people say literally like right now, but like literally. Like, I'll think about words and how people say them.
Yeah.
And I'll put it into a
literal context.
Sense, yeah. So like how people are like, you ruined my childhood. I wasn't even there when you were a child. You know? Like,
it was like, that makes zero sense. And that's the thing. Like I just don't understand. Like, if you don't like the interpretation, or if you don't like a character, like Jar Jar Binks was like infamously like disliked and like almost ruined that guy's life, like, you know, and having like severe depression. And it's like, that's fine. Like, you don't have to like it, but like, leave that actor alone.
Yeah.
If you don't like Rose Tico in The Last Jedi, that's fine. I didn't like her character either. But Kelly Marie Tran seems like a really awesome person. Like, just from when she was on social media and Twitter and stuff, she seemed great and like fun loving, and like, you guys were just killing that spirit for no reason.
And side note, Finn probably would have died without her in the movie. So.
Oh yeah, he was gonna kill himself.
So
yeah,
there it is, right there.
Yeah, exactly. And but depending on how you feel about that, Finn should be dead because you hate black people.
Yeah,
but like, because there's all that like racism when in The Force Awakens, where like people are like, how can a stormtrooper be black? And I was just like, stormtroopers can be anything.
Yeah, they probably took specimens from tons of different people. He's just a clone of somebody else, man.
Yeah, like,
there's a girl one. No one said anything about the girl.
No one cared about the woman stormtrooper,
and she's chrome.
Yeah,
how you gonna have a chrome stormtrooper in this movie? How dare you?
Yeah, but yeah, it's just like, we could all do better and like be more respectful. And like, I get that like, just because you have sentiment towards something, like, doesn't mean you have ownership in that thing or entitlement to it. And even like, if you spend money, like, I spend money on every superhero movie or every Batman movie and all this stuff, I don't have any ownership in Batman. You know, the only people who have ownership for that are like Bill Kane's family, Bob Finger's family, and DC.
I think you got the first names mixed up.
You're right, I did. Bob Kane and Bill Finger. Like, their families have ownership in that, and DC and Warner Bros. Have ownership, but I don't. Like, but I love it still, even though it's not my thing.
Right.
I didn't give birth to that.
There's a difference between appreciating the art and respecting the artist.
Yeah.
And people need to see the relationship between those two and not mix them up.
Yeah. So, in other news that we didn't cover during the E3 episode was Fortnite came to Switch, which we touched on.
Yeah, we brought it up, but we didn't elaborate, man.
Yeah, so like, what I noticed after that was that on Twitter there's like a lot of backlash. Well, not a lot of backlash, but like, there were definitely some people who primarily play on PS4 just because there's like 70 million PS4s in the wild. So like, that has a huge install base. And when people went to go play on Switch, because that seemed like a perfect thing to do, their Epic account like wouldn't let them move any progress that they had.
So like, they'd have to buy like all the skins again.
Yeah.
Have to level up their characters and tier up.
Yep.
More. I mean, not more, but from square one.
Yeah, all over again. And you know, and then you also couldn't crossplay on PS4 with Xbox or PC or mobile.
I still think so. I know you can do PS4 and PC. Okay. But you can't do, like, let's say like, we got a group of friends, right? It's me, you, Ebony, and Mac, right? Yeah. And we're all playing. One of us has an Xbox, one of us has a PC, one of us has a PS4, and one of us has a Switch. Yeah. I don't think all four of us would be able to play.
No, one of us is going to get left out in the dust. Yeah. And it's definitely going to be the one with the PS4.
Yep. And I think that sucks, man. I mean, I get it. You want to have, like, exclusive rights to whatever. But at the same time, it's like, dude, your players want to do this. Like, my little brother has a PS4. Yeah. And I can't play with him.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, too. Like, I've been wanting to do duos with you, but like, you have an Xbox and I have a PS4, and it's like, we can't do it.
No, man. And that game, I'll just be honest, man, that game has taken over my entire life. Like, I'll come home, from work on Monday, sleep for a couple hours, get up, and then start playing it. Or I'll wake up on the day that I've been rested, start playing it. Before I go to bed, I play that game. If I'm bored, I play that game. Like, I play that game so much, and the sad thing is, I haven't won a match yet.
Yeah.
So.
Well, winning a match is hard. like the highest I've gotten is like 12th, and unless you like are really good at like being sneaky or really good at killing people, like it's gonna be difficult. And plus, like managing all those things together with managing the storm and like not dying in that too is like it's difficult. But it's like, and it's not a PS4, or it is a PS4 problem. It's not like an Epic problem.
Right.
Like PS4 has it so like everything is closed off. So if you're playing on
like
PS4,
they're exclusive.
Yeah, exactly. So like you can only play with PS4 or PC, and I wish they would change it. Like a lot of people on Twitter are like being like, please change this so I can play with people who have Switches and other consoles.
I think the thing with that is too, like, I mean, it sucks, but a lot of the things in the world boil down to money, right?
Yeah.
So I think their issue is, okay, well, if we do that, how many people are still going to buy PS4?
Yeah, exactly.
Because if we got to do this for this game, who says we don't have to do it for this game? And it's like, I don't feel like that's a big issue, Like Fortnite's one of the free games that's available across all platforms, at least that I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And I mean, there's games that come out like you can get it on this one, on that one, whatever.
Yeah, but not crossplay.
And it's not as big.
Yeah.
And they're not free.
Yeah, exactly.
So the fact that you can play this game with everybody who has Xbox, PC, or Nintendo Switch and mobile, because you can play it on your phone.
Yeah.
But you can't include PS4. I think that's a little selfish, man. Like, I mean, Fortnite's letting you have their game on your marketplace for people to play, so you're still making some money.
Yeah.
They're making money from it too, but you're still making some money.
Yeah.
You're coming out with new games, and new systems and stuff. You're still gonna make money. So what's the issue with that?
Like, it feels like a bit of insecurity, right? Like, you're already dominating this generation. Like, are you really that worried that like so many people are gonna stop like playing on PS4 so they can play on Xbox just because there's crossplay?
Right.
Like, that doesn't make any sense. Like, I've seen people tweet out like, okay, well, I guess now I'm gonna make this other account and now I'm primarily just gonna play on Switch because I can play with everybody else.
Yeah.
Or I'll play on Xbox, but it seems like Switch is a popular one. And like, that'd be the same for me. Like, I guess eventually I'll have to switch to Xbox and just play on that because they won't let me play on PS4 no matter how badly I want to. Like, they just need to implement that, and I don't know if it's just like a flip of a switch, or if it's something more intricate. But like, I wish they would, kind of just hear fans out on this and just like respond.
Well, like, who wants to go and drop like, I don't know how much PS4 costs, but like $400 to $500 on a new system. Yeah. Like, I don't have the money to do that right now.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to be like, oh, I can't play Fortnite with my friends.
Yeah.
I guess I'm going to either go buy a PS4 because that's what all of them have, or I'm going to go buy a Nintendo Switch, Xbox, or build a PC. Like, I can't do that. I don't have the money to do that, so.
You have to just play mobile.
Right. Yeah, I mean, because then you're able to play with anyone, really. Yeah. But at the same time, it's like, it's not as fun. You're on your phone. The screen is this big.
Yeah.
So.
Like, it's not. Yeah, and it's been a problem too because I think like Rocket League is crossplay with everything too, except PS4, and it's like, well, what the hell? Like, I want to play with other people. The same scenario as this, but like, why can't PS4 just like do something that's a little bit of fan service? Like, Microsoft has been so good at that lately. And doing like basically whatever gamers want.
Well, and they even have you could get the Game Pass for like $1.
Oh yeah, you can get Game Pass for $1.
You could get Xbox Live for 30 days and try it out, see if you like it. Like, and it's crazy because once you start playing Xbox Live or you have access to Xbox Live, you're never going back. To not having Xbox Live.
Yeah, like usually you just keep Xbox Live and And I tried Game Pass and Game Pass is awesome, but it's like why. Like, why can Microsoft be so forthcoming and, like, wanting to do things for gamers? They even did, like, backwards compatibility. Like, how many people are going to want to play those old-ass games?
Right.
But, like...
break out, dust off the Xbox 360 and plug it in. Oh, man, I need a new HDMI cable.
Yeah.
My TV doesn't have the, what is it, the RGA?
RCA.
RCA.
Yeah.
They don't make those anymore.
And it's like, so like Xbox has been really good about doing like every like little thing that benefits gamers, but PlayStation hasn't really. Like they have great games and great exclusives.
God of War is a huge hit. Still, people are playing it, streaming it. I mean, I know it came out recently.
Yeah.
But usually, you hear a big game come out, a few months later, it's not even in the
Yeah, usually like a game has like a shelf life of like trendiness for like a month, and like usually it goes away. But like God of War is still really popular, especially for like a single player game. Like usually single player games don't get that kind of longevity. Usually it's like, you know, a multiplayer game that's ongoing like COD or like PUBG or Fortnite or something. But yeah, just PS4, like, just get your shit together.
For real. Yeah, I just think it's crazy because, I mean, like you said, they're doing so well and they've been in the game for so long. They have it figured out, you know? So they don't really have any excuse for them to not be a part of this, you know? And who knows, you know, maybe they have certain licenses like, you know, Detroit is a really realistic game. It looks like a movie. You know, so maybe for them to have that type of content and quality and everything, they have to sacrifice this or that. And if it's that, man, I'd rather have the inclusion of being in with everybody else. I mean, gaming is such a huge community. You don't want to limit yourself because then people are like, you can't do nothing like that on PS4, you know?
Yeah, and I get that, like, PS4 is like, I think I saw a statistic that says that like every 2.5 PS4s that are sold, Xbox sells one. So obviously, like, you're doing way better than Xbox. And I get that, like, you're on top and you don't have to, like, do much. But, like, just think of how much more goodwill you would garner if you just did do something like that. It'd be like, oh, hey, we're going to do some crossplay stuff on certain games just because you guys want it, you know?
Right.
Not be, like, insecure about it.
Well, that's like goes for anything, man. Like, you know, people are upset with politics because they feel like they're not being heard. People are upset with their job because they feel like they're not being heard. You know, people are going to get upset with PlayStation eventually because they feel like they're not being heard. Yeah. And their needs or their wants or wishes aren't being fulfilled. So why would you want to go with that?
Yeah, exactly. And, like, don't, like, I mean, I know this isn't going to be, like, a huge thing. Like, this isn't going to destroy PlayStation. But it's just going to be another thing and a line of stuff that, like, is a detriment to playing on PS4. And if, like, those things build up, then you will have, like, a repeat of the previous generation where, like, PS3 stumbled out the gates. Like, you don't want PS5 to stumble out the gates and, like, not sell well. So, like, just do a little bit to garner goodwill and just set yourself up for success in the future generation.
Right.
I mean, like, because I have PS4, and that became my primary almost instantaneously when I bought it.
Well, you gotta think about it, man. I mean, like I said, they've been in the game for a minute. Their controllers feel nice.
They finally got it right.
You know, and they're wireless now. So it's like perfect. I mean, they've been wireless for a little while, but you know, they got a new home button. Yeah,
well, and I think there's a couple things that PS4 stumbled on in terms of like what Xbox has been doing. And one, like for me at least, is Xbox One S comes with a 4K Blu-ray player, and PS4 Pro doesn't. And I'm like, how can you like have this beefy console that's supposed to be like all about playing 4K games and all this other stuff and not have a 4K Blu-ray player?
Right.
Like that doesn't make sense. But you know, the cheaper Xbox One S does. And it's like, for me, like, I know that's not, like, a huge thing for, like, maybe the general audience, but for me personally, I'm like, I want to watch 4K Blu-rays because I have a 4K TV. Like, why wouldn't you just put that in there?
Well, and how nice would it feel to just be like, oh, you know, I don't have to go get this because this plays it already?
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
You have one device that can play games and movies and stream if you want to download the app. Like, why would I want to do anything else?
Exactly. So, like, because of that, like, I got an Xbox One S so I could watch my 4K movies. And, like, you know, PS4, like, just neglected that for some reason. But, like, you know, PS4... I love because like I like the controller and everything, but like
they brought back some of the classic games like Crash Bandicoot.
Yeah, exactly.
What are some other ones?
They have Spyro coming out.
Yeah, I saw that.
Resident Evil remake.
I'm really excited for that, man.
Yeah.
Because watching my dad and my brother play that game when I was a little kid, it was so scary. But now it's like, oh, shoot, good graphics, like good camera angles and everything.
Yeah. Well, it's doing like the perfect thing of like, they remade the game, right, to like the upgraded graphics, but then they took the gameplay from like Resident Evil 4 and 5 and like put that in there. Because like before, like if you go back and play like Resident Evil 2 on the on a PlayStation, it controls horribly.
Oh yeah. Well, I think you couldn't even use the analog stick until like 2 or 3.
Yeah, it was way later.
So you had to use the D-pad. Sometimes you're running and there's fixed camera.
Yeah.
It's dark. You can't see anything. You get stuck on something.
Yeah.
Then you just die because somebody eats you, man.
Yeah, it was rough. And because it's one of those things where it's like, you play it now and you're like, how the hell do we play this back then?
Yeah, it's hard, man.
It is.
It's like a giant puzzle, too. Like, there's a map, but you gotta save on the ribbon. It doesn't auto-save,
exactly.
You know?
I'm so used to autosave. I don't even like pause the game. I just hit the home button and I just like go out from the game, you know, and I come back and it's like right where I left off. But yeah, it's like they've made strides in like good areas like the controller and stuff, but then in like Xbox has a good controller too. Like I like the way it feels.
Yeah, for sure.
But I don't like the fact that Xbox still uses AA batteries.
Yeah.
I'm like, why the hell are you still using AA batteries? Like, just use Bluetooth like PlayStation.
Yeah, just charge it, man. Plug it in.
But yeah, like I just think that they could just do some quality of life things, like, you know, crossplay on certain games. Being able to change your username. Like, you can't change your PSN tag at all.
Yeah, it's stuck there forever. I remember going to my mom's house and my little brother, he's sitting there, he's like, man, I wish I could change this. And I'm like, I don't think you can, man. So his name on there is what my stepdad had on his originally, which is like Painter or something.
Yeah.
You know, he's like, I'm walking around with this name, Painter. I can't even change it. You know? But I mean, he could just make his own profile and solve the problem right there. But
so yeah, there's like other ways around, you know, switching your PSN name. Like if you want to create a new profile, you could do that, but like you lose all your progress, right? If you're a trophy snob, then like all those trophies that you've collected over PS3 and PS4 will just be gone now.
Yeah, gotta play all Uncharted all over again.
Yeah,
man.
all the Uncharted, all the God of Wars.
Yeah.
Or I guess only 3 and 4, but like, yeah, you just like, you have all that progress that you've spent time building up to. I mean, that's only, I guess, if you're into that. Like,
right.
If you're not, then
whatever.
Yeah.
But like, I mean, like I've played so many games on Xbox already, you know, and I've switched my account twice.
Yeah.
You know, it's $10, so I spent $20 doing it. Yeah. But at least I have the option to do it.
Well, yeah, and like with Xbox, if I were to go change my gamer tag right now, I could still have my achievements and all my points and stuff, or my gamer score or whatever it's called, and it would still be there. My name would just be different,
right?
But PS4 or PlayStation doesn't see fit to do that.
When you have to understand that people who either disregard certain details or, you know, don't listen to their audience or just put something out to make them shut up, that's how you start to fall off the map, you know, like E.T. on Super Nintendo.
Yeah.
You know, that dude, I mean, he was a great guy. Like, he made so many games.
He made a lot of games, yeah.
You know, so...
And he didn't even know coding or anything at first.
He was a genius.
Yeah.
You know, so, like, for him to pick it up and, like, be able to just take off with it and put them in business for as long as they did and make them that much money.
Yeah.
Like, I respect to him all the way.
Yeah.
But for him to put out that E.T. game in the time frame that they needed him to for the movie to come out and just to be rushed and everything, he kind of disregarded the little things that were important. I feel like, you know, like the gameplay aspect was too hard for some people to play.
Yeah.
And to progress throughout the game, you know, and I mean that's kind of like in a developing perspective, but it ties into PS4 not paying attention to what their viewers want.
Yeah.
You know, like kind of just brushing it off and accepting all this money and be like, we could figure something else out. Like, no, I feel like I don't think it's wrong. But I think if you have an audience that wants this one feature, and it's
Yeah.
not even like some ridiculous request,
Yeah.
you know, like it's just like, hey, can we play this with people cross-platform?
Yeah.
Yes or no? Right now it's no. Well, how long will it be no for? Because you're gonna end up losing business off of that.
Yeah.
And loyalty.
Exactly. And I think, and it's not like everybody wants every game to be cross-platform, right? We just want like certain ones, like Fortnite. Like we want that to be cross-platform. We're not asking for every Battlefield and Call of Duty and Tekken and Street Fighter game to be cross-platform.
Right.
Like we just want this one.
Well, and it's number one. You know? So you would think like the number one game, we could definitely get some business off of this.
Oh yeah, definitely.
You know, if it comes down to money, this is a good financial decision for you to make right now.
Yeah, exactly. And it would just garner goodwill. Like I remember like the infamous like 2006, I think, PlayStation conference where like they introduced, or maybe it was 2005, but like they introduced the PS3, right? And they're like, oh, it's $600. And everybody's like, that's dumb expensive. I'm not paying $600 for this. And they're like, well, if you really want it, then you'll get 2 jobs.
Right.
And they're like, that was so dumb and arrogant to say.
They straight roasted the whole audience.
Yeah.
If you really want it that bad, you might get a 3rd job.
Yeah. It's like, what the hell? Like, that's so like disengaged from their fans.
Well, and even for a person who has like a decent amount of money to spend, like that's insulting. It's
exactly.
Like, what, you think low of me because I don't want to buy this game? Like that's man, screw you, man.
Yeah. It was way insulting, and it's like this isn't like as big as that was, but like don't start taking those backward steps, right? Of like going back to that PlayStation who was like so like not in touch with the gaming community and what they wanted and like what like what they represent and what they wanted from you. Like if they want to change their gamer or their PSN name, try to make that happen. Like let them change their PSN name. Let us play crossplay with like other people on Rocket League or Fortnite or whatever the next free mobile or free game that's really popular is,
Right. When I feel like Microsoft learned a lot from that too, because when it first came out with Xbox One and they were talking about, cloud connected with the games, no matter where you sign in, you'll have your games with you and all that. And it was a lot of stuff people didn't want.
Yeah.
They took a step back and were like, okay, well, maybe we need to really evaluate a couple of things. They didn't just keep doing it. I mean, at the time, Xbox 360 was at the peak. Like it was, PlayStation was a close second.
Yeah.
But still Xbox was on top.
Yeah, it was number one.
But, they realized like, oh, we can't just go and do whatever we want. We have to listen to what our audience wants and then put our features around what the audience wants.
Yeah. And
I think right now PlayStation's kind of struggling with that because they're on the top now.
Yeah.
They know what it feels like and they don't want to lose that feeling, but if they keep disregarding the voices of the people within the PlayStation community, then it's bound to happen.
Well, yeah, and with all the goodwill that Microsoft is earning right now, like I know like PlayStation is selling so many more PlayStations than Xboxes, but like going into the next generation, like Microsoft has just built up all this clout and goodwill, like where people are going to be like, give Microsoft the benefit of the doubt because of all the things recently that they've done, and the fact that now that they bought all these studios to create first-party games. So not only did they have the goodwill, but now on the next generation, they might actually have really good first-party games. So, like, if I'm Sony, I gotta be a little bit worried, right? Like, want to make at least some steps to be like, oh no, you guys want to play here, just to remind them, right? To like, hey, we're the ones that you want to play with.
Yeah, you can't not appeal to the masses.
Yeah, exactly. So I just hope that maybe one day in the near future me and you can play.
Eventually, man. I got my fingers crossed because I know we have a lot of fun doing it, but we don't have the same system on it.
Yeah, like I could just bite the bullet and get Xbox Live, but like I hate like I have to pay for PSN and pay for Xbox Live.
Yeah, man.
So I just pay for PSN because that's where I play mostly. But now, they screwed me over.
Yeah. No, I hope they lift it, man, so then you can play with PS. Because like there's tournaments, like one of the biggest streamers. Well, not biggest. He's starting. He's gonna be the biggest. I know he is. But his name's Doogly. If you guys ever want to follow him, it's Doogley.
Yeah.
But he plays on PC, and they had him and his friend Max. They have tournaments, just local tournaments, and they just sit there and just play. I don't know how they set up the brackets or whatever, but they only do it with PC and Xbox. They don't do it with PlayStation, and I think it's because not everybody on PlayStation can play with people on Xbox. They want to have that inclusion of everybody, that whole cross-platform experience.
Yeah,
and they can't do that with PS4. So I hope they end up fixing it, because they're gonna lose a big chunk of their audience if they don't, at least until the new game comes out where it is available for you to do that.
Yeah, exactly.
Or an exclusive or something like that.
Yeah, because I guess if your core friends do all have PS4s, then great. You're in a good position. You have nothing to worry about. But if you're not, and your friends are scattered out between Xbox, PS4, Switch, and PC, then the one on PS4 is the one who gets screwed.
Right.
All your other friends can play with each other except for the PS4 friend.
For real.
So yeah, man, hopefully they change that.
They're singing that all by myself.
Yes, and let's change our gamer tags. Our PSN names, I mean. Well, that does it for this episode of Free Cake. Thanks for watching. You can follow us on Free Cake Cast on Twitter. And you can like our Facebook page. It's just Free Cake.
Turn those notifications on.
Yeah, turn on the notifications. I never mention it, but we are on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, and now we're on Stitcher. So you have all the ways.
Yeah, there's no excuse now.
Yeah, and SoundCloud. So you have all the ways to consume our content. So please watch and subscribe and like and all that stuff, and share it with other people.
If you ever want to play games with me on Xbox, my gamer tag is KUE330.
Yes, and if you want to play on PlayStation, I'm Howitzer for Hire, so it's Howitzer, the number 4, Hire. And until next time, we'll see you guys later.
Take it easy.